Hello, my name is Kurt, and you're watching Music is Fun and Art. This is my new channel that I used to be Kurt Plays the Sax, and I decided to make it about music. Yes, the saxophone is music, but that's kind of more specific, and I want to kind of make it more general. Um, I might play a guitar, I might play a bass guitar, I might have someone else come and play along with me, or even sing. Um, I might have a friend or family sing with me. We might sing songs. Who knows? Uh, so the last video we did was how to read scales. The treble clef is what we focused on. Have on the whiteboard we have the keyboard or piano on top, and we're gonna go back over the treble clef that's on the top and the bass clef. If you read like music on the piano, for the piano, it's going to have both treble clef and bass clef. Now, when you play a saxophone or trumpet, clarinet, these instruments will be in the treble clef. If you play something like a trombone or baritone, not baritone sax, not a bari sax, but a baritone brass instrument, or even a tuba, they're going to be in the bass clef. So we're going to go back over the notes on the piano briefly. We're going to go over the treble clef just to review it, but we're going to focus on the bass clef. So I will stand out of the way. All right, so the keyboard starts piano. I have A, and here's A again, and then D. So it's a little bit more than one octave. And the black keys are not, I don't have any letters on there. They're sharps or flats. We'll go over those when we go over scales. Matter of fact, I probably will keep this keyboard up there just for that reason, just for that purpose. So the treble clef, if we go up, the acronym is there's 5 lines, and then there's notes between the lines, 4 of them. All right, FACE, going up. That's how we were taught in school. And then between, so that's between. FACE. That's basically the acronym. Face. All right, that's what we learned. On the lines, it's going up. Every good boy does fine. So E is at the bottom, F is at the top. The middle C on the piano, I don't really have a middle C. I probably need to change the black keys so that the middle C is more like in the middle for the next lesson. I should probably do that. It would make more sense. But when you see on the clef, on the treble clef, bass clef, with the piano, right? It's going to be the treble clef and the bass clef. You're playing them all together with. You don't just play in one clef. You're going to see this middle note with that line in the middle. That is middle C on the piano. So technically, when I play the saxophone, I'm actually playing notes in the bass clef. It just doesn't show the bass clef. Everything is in the treble clef, because I might have a note down here. I think the lowest note I have is 1 step down under this middle C. It might be 1.5 steps. It might be a B flat A. I think B flat's my lowest. So that's 1 step below this C right here. That is not middle C for my saxophone, but it's middle C in sheet music. Middle C for my saxophone is right here. This C right here. So we'll get into that. I'll show you how to, the fingerings, I guess is the best way. The fingerings that I was taught. So we'll go over the saxophone. If you want to learn how to play saxophone, I will show you what notes are what, where do you put your hands, how do you hold the saxophone, stuff like that. Now, the bass clef, the shape, the symbol, I guess is the best word. That's what the symbol basically looks like. And this acronym is, we're going to start with the 4 in between the lines. Ace G, start going down from the bottom, going up. Sorry, going up. A, C, E, G, Ace G. Now the lines are kind of similar to the acronym for the treble clef. It's not every good boy does fine, it's good boys do fine always. Kind of similar, right? Good boys do fine always. So that's the treble clef. Sorry. That's not the treble clef. That's the bass clef. That's the bass clef. So again, good boys do fine always. All right. So that's part 2, learning the treble clef, or going back over the treble clef briefly, and then teaching you. And then, see, I didn't even learn the bass clef. I didn't have to. I played saxophone, and saxophone's in the treble clef. But over the years, I had friends that played trombone or bass. Well, I guess in the bass guitar you probably are in the bass clef. Anyway, so I had friends who played low brass instruments, tuba, and I did learn, I guess we probably learned it in music theory of sorts. We had a music lesson, other than each of us learning how to play our own instruments. On top of that, we went over some theory. Now my saxophone is right here. I guess another part of this video I could do is showing you how to put the saxophone together. It's actually a really awesome case. You can have my straps here. You can actually wear it like a backpack. Awesome case. I do like that it's a good hard shell, and it's fitted. I like these fitted cases. These are awesome. All right, so to the side, I'm just gonna, I know you can't really see the pieces, but there's a top. Let me show you. There's some top pieces. So you can put sheet music in, various, extra reeds, maybe another mouthpiece if you need a mouthpiece. So we're going to go in here, and you want to start out with your neck strap. You want to wear your neck strap. You don't have any of the instrument out yet, but that's okay. You need your neck strap. The first piece you want to get is the smallest piece. You want your reed. You want to get your reed wet, because the reed is what makes the noise. It's not a brass instrument. You don't have a buzz. The embouchure is very different. You just blow air. You don't really bite down on the reed, because that would make a squeaking sound. You can clamp your mouth and your teeth onto the mouthpiece, but you don't want to do that to the reed, because it can't vibrate. All right, so that's that. That's what we want. I will take it out. I will briefly put it in my mouth, and every now and then I'll take it out so that I can explain what I'm doing. Now we're going to get into the big part. I'll put it down. Open it up. Okay. Now, you're going to want to get the big part first. You're going to put everything together except for the reed. You're going to keep it out for last. You get it out first because you want it to get wet so that it can vibrate. It doesn't really work so good when it's dry. All right. I have this little thing here. This helps keep the pads. They last longer. It's just I don't know what you call it, honestly, but you sit it in there when you're not using it, and it's just to make the pads last longer. Just put it in your case. The neck. So this is the bell. This is the neck. This is, of course, the rest of the body. This one is a tenor saxophone. I just dropped my reed. Tenor saxophone, so the shape is slightly different than the alto. It is bigger too. So put that on top. You have this little piece here that you twist to tighten it. You want to basically aim, I want my bell to basically be in line. So if I'm looking at it like you're looking at it, you want to see this in line with the bell. It's kind of hard to tell, but all right. So you tighten it down and get your, you don't have to get your reed yet because unless you want to get it wet. But I'm just showing you how to put the saxophone together. All right, this one. Now what you can do is to have free hands. You know, this is the reason why you want your neck strap on first. You have 2 free hands now. That's the best way to go about it. Because you will need two free hands when you do your mouthpiece. Not necessarily with these 2 bigger pieces. So we're loosening this. You're going to take it off. Just keep it with you. I mean, it's going to be off for just a moment. Now, there is a way that this works, and there is a way that this doesn't work when you put it back on. If it slides in all the way, effortlessly, try saying that 10 times fast. But this way doesn't go in so easily. So this end is a little bit bigger. So you want that end to go. You want the big end to go in first. Now, when you do that, of course, the good thing is to have the reed in place, or you can slide it in afterwards. And another thing, when I'm making this in line, I also want this. I can't really see, you can't really see it, but I want to see it. I use some dark color as a background. Maybe my shirt might help. So you want this reed to stick up a little bit. You don't want it flat. You don't want it sticking out a lot. It doesn't have to, but just barely above flush. And you want to try to line this up. It moves a little bit, so you readjust it. No big deal. All right. So if I had something on YouTube, I would probably play something. Anyway. Okay, so that's how you put the tenor saxophone together. Now this thing is so old. It could use a shine. I'd like to find a way to clean it, to make it look younger than it really is. It's very old saxophone. It's a lot of miles. Now, here's another thing that you need to think about. The neck strap is also important, where you place your neck strap, meaning this slides up and down. All right, so when you play it, you want it to be, if I were to show you, I take this and I freehand it. But if I use my left hand, I lift it up it's not even with my mouth. So what am I doing? This is too low. I need to go up. So obviously placement here is important too. Maybe a little bit more. You want it to basically go right between your teeth. Maybe just a little bit on your bottom teeth. Just so it's almost like you can hold it yourself with your mouth. I mean, it's a little heavy to do that, but the level that you have your neck strap is going to be important too. All right, so now let's warm up. All right, what's another scales. Also, I'm gonna teach you scales. Maybe transposing. See, the saxophone is in the key. The tenor saxophone is in the key of B flat. When my music teacher said, "Okay, let's play a scale. We're going to play key of B flat." That meant since I'm in the key of B flat, my saxophone is in the key of B flat. Piano is in the key of C. They're going to have flats or sharps depending on what the scale is. If the teacher says, "Okay, C scale," the piano doesn't have any problem. There won't be any flats, no flats, no sharps. But my saxophone, I have to transpose from B flat to C, which is one step. The C up here, so that's no flats, no sharps. If I'm in the key of B flat, which is B, go down a half step to this black key, that's B flat. But when the teacher says, "Okay, key of B flat," we're going to do the B flat scales. Great. For me, perfect. I don't have to think about, oh, do I have any sharps or flats? No, I don't. So we'll look into transposing too. So I'll teach you scales on the saxophone, which is not going to be C scales. I have to transpose. So I have to figure out, and I have a little cheat sheet, of course, because I still need to work on my scales really bad. But I'm mainly here to focus. I will focus more on the tenor saxophone than any other instrument because I've played the tenor saxophone longer than in any other instrument. I can play the bass guitar. I can play the guitar, electric or acoustic, either one. The guitar doesn't really matter. It's the same, unless I'm playing a 12-string. It's instead of a 6-string guitar. Same notes, just kind of a different layout, I guess you could say. Instead of single strings, there's a low E and a high E with the first 3 strings, and then it's a double. It's kind of strange. Anyway, I don't really need to go into that because there's a little more to that than it's. I think it's unnecessary for a 12-string guitar. It's just too much. Just overkill. It's like having a 7-string bass. You don't need 7 strings. I can see maybe 5, but you don't need a 6-string bass. You don't need a 7-string bass. Just overkill. Anyway, this is a Yamaha YTS-23. It's just a beginner tenor saxophone that I've had since, I think I've had it since 1997. Got it in a pawn shop for a really good deal. So I played in band in Arkansas. I started in Amarillo, Texas, but that was for a year or two, and that was like beginners. just learning. I was just learning how to play the tenor saxophone for a couple of years. Then we moved up to Arkansas, and I played in middle school. Middle school was in Texas, and then junior high in Arkansas, junior high and high school. And I was in choir in high school as well, sang second tenor. And after school, I finally got me a, excuse me, dry mouth. Okay. Finally got me a saxophone in like 1997, somewhere around there. And then I also bought me an acoustic guitar, I think probably the same year. So around 1997, I picked up the guitar, and I totally need to go back to the guitar and play a lot more before I ever even play the guitar on this channel. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. My channel is Music is Fun and Art. And I have another channel, it's called Beautiful Chinese, where I show you guys Chinese characters. I show you how to write them. I show you what they mean in English. I don't teach any spoken Chinese. It's not, the purpose is not learning how to speak Chinese. If you want to learn Chinese, go for it, but learn from a native speaker. I'll just show you what it means. I'll just show you the characters, how to write it, and what it means in English, so you can translate it. You can look at the character and maybe you don't know how to say it in Chinese, no big deal, but you'll know, hey, I watched Kurt's YouTube channel, Beautiful Chinese, and I remember that character, I recognize it now, and I could probably even draw it. Good. And he taught me that that means the number 10 or whatever. So that's my other channel as well. So don't forget, Music is Fun and Art and Beautiful Chinese. Hope to see you guys in the next video, and if I can come up with a motto for this channel, that would be great. Anyway, I have one for my other channel, but I'm kind of trying to get back into making YouTube channels. I had one before, it was Kurt Plays the Sax, but I want to get back into it and start making more videos. So I hope you guys enjoy it and learn from it. And I hope you are motivated to maybe pick up another instrument, or maybe you don't know how to play an instrument at all. Maybe you can pick up the guitar. I hope this, or even the saxophone. I hope you guys can come back, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. You guys have a great day, and well, I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to get back into it, and so I hope to see you guys again. Bye-bye.